Imagine walking into your best unit and everything looks great. It's working like a machine, all the systems are in place, and it's looking very good. Then you stop into one of your newest units and it feels like it's a completely different company. It might be the same brand, but things are done very differently from the other one. And some of it not exactly the way that you would want it to be done. What happened? Does this sound familiar to you? Does this happen to you? This is the reality of many multi-unit franchisees. Inconsistent results, constant firefighting, trying to change things verbally, and at the end, burnout because it seems to be a never-ending story of trying to make things work the way they're supposed to. So the question is, how do you keep every location performing exactly the way you want it to be consistently without you having to be everywhere? That is the one question that many franchisees ask me. How do I get to be a multi-unit and have the business be as consistent as the brand execution is? And the reality is that it is not as easy as it sounds. So today, I'm going to be sharing some of the systems, habits, and leadership practices that you should have as a multi-unit franchisee to make every unit run like clockwork, a money-making machine, which is exactly what everybody wants. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, mindset must evolve before your systems and processes, which means you have to have the mindset of going from being a problem solver to becoming a coach of your team. Teaching the managers how to do the work, how to make decisions, how to troubleshoot and implement clear standards and processes across your organization. That is really the change to go from an operator to an enterprise leader. And it is difficult because obviously you have run your business day to day. You were there all the time in charge of everything. But if you want to grow and scale, you have to evolve into becoming the coach and inspiring leaders that excite and motivate the people to do the things instead of you doing them. And one of the things that have to come with that is running your business through metrics, not your feeling. Because sometimes we just want to go by what we feel and what we think. But metrics is really what should drive a multi-unit enterprise. Weekly scorecards, weekly business meetings, and understanding what truly is working across the unit is going to be critical. Holding scheduled leadership meetings and align priorities across the team so that there's accountability instead of reaction, all the time. That mindset change is going to be very important if you want to be a successful multi-unit enterprise and having consistent execution across all your units. So the next thing to think about is the consistency comes through processes, not proximity. You're not going to have consistency just because you show up in person. Consistency will come from creating clear processes that the people are supposed to execute. This means that you have to document everything from open to close shifts to how to do marketing, to how to do inventory, how to do schedules, how and when to clean. Literally everything needs to be documented. And if you're able to do that, that is how you're going to be able to train and create repetition. Creating repetition is going to be critical for you to have consistency among all your units. Using the same tools and templates and forms and not having something different from unit to unit. That means that using technology and the platforms that today exist that are amazing to manage the unit is going to be a great tool for you to drive consistency across your organization. And then, of course, if you audit and supervise and visit and follow up your units by doing mystery shops or effective unit visits that are driven by the execution of the standards, you're going to have specific KPI dashboards that you're going to use as you do in those visits to check the execution against the results. That's going to be critical. Those field visits will keep the standards alive and will let people know that they are the expectations every single day. You cannot expect what you don't inspect. So remember that. So let's say in another way, inspect what you expect. Once you have documented things and you have turned them over and delegated them, you inspect, because that is what you expect. And that's how you're going to be able to achieve the consistency you want across your organization. Something else to keep in mind is that your managers are your multipliers. If you have great managers, you will be able to have excellent execution. Select leaders, not just the people that are past performers, people that actually inspire others to do great, not just to execute every day. Execution clearly is important, but the level of execution and having a team be inspired and follow is going to be critical for you to be able to have success across all your units. Now, these leaders need to be trained on leadership. They need to be trained on how to inspire the people, because not everybody knows it, and it doesn't come naturally to everybody. So not only that they need to know how to do the task, but how to inspire the people to execute the task. So teach coaching, teach feedback, teach financial management for those leaders that are going to represent you in every one of those units. And don't forget that you want to inspire them. So one of the ways to inspire them is to recognize them publicly, celebrate the success, celebrate the managers that are hitting and achieving the high standards so that others want to follow. So important, because people are going to see where the recognition is, and that is where they're going to follow. So if you do that, you're going to be able to inspire others to do a great job too. Consistency also requires great communication. And actually beyond that, a communication that's consistent with a certain level of rhythm, so that they know what to expect and when they're going to have information to be able to know what to do and what's expected. That's why weekly manager huddles are so important. Being able to bring the team together, share the information, communicate what's going on, training, and obviously going over the goals and the numbers is going to be important to win and to be able to grow the team and elevate their execution. Monthly enterprise updates. Obviously, you're going to get monthly P&L. So why not give updates to your team on how things are going with the business financially? And then identify where the opportunities are. Share data. Franchisees keep their information, so close to their chest and don't want to share that information with the managers. And yet it is so important. It's funny because I know some franchisees think that, that if they share the data, something bad is going to happen, because they may think that they're making too much money. I'm going to tell you right now, most of the people in the stores, and including the managers that don't have access to the P&Ls, think that you're making more money than you truly are. If they see the true picture of the business and teach them how to manage that business, they're going to be able to help manage the business with you, and not you have to push them to do a great job. Share also culture studies, inspire them and celebrate for success so that they can continue to see why they're doing it. What's the purpose? What are the goals? And feel like they matter in the situation. Using technology to really be close and in touch in communication with your people is going to be important. Build something like WhatsApp groups or, share drives, or a way to build community and communication ongoingly so that people can interact with each other, even if they're in different units. It will create team and it will create communication, will then create consistency among all the units. So bottom line, consistency equals systems, equal leaders, equals communication. So if you want to have consistent among all your units, remember this. Consistency comes from systems, great leaders, and ongoing communication. So if you want to scale intentionally and you want every unit to feel the same way, this is how you do it. So if this episode helped you think differently about how to be a successful multi-unit franchisee and have consistency among your units, please hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and share this podcast with a franchisee that could use the help. And if you'd like to learn more about how to build these systems yourself, you may want to explore our command program for franchisees that are growing a multi-unit enterprise. And if you'd like to learn more about how to build these systems and process and procedures to inspire your people and create consistent results among all your units, I would like to invite you to explore our command program. It's a multi-unit franchisee certification that teaches you exactly how to do all of this. All you need to do is go visit us at www.afacommand.com and learn more. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.